How's it going, guys? My name is Dave, or SH45 Shinies, and today I'm going to be showing you how I have been hatching shinies in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I've been getting a lot of questions of how I've been breeding for a lot of my shinies, and so I figured out to kind of answer some of those questions and then just kind of like make one big video. So a lot of people have been wondering, first of all, how have I been getting them so fast? And so I've been using a method called the Masuda Method. And for those of you who don't know, the Masuda Method is when you breed two Pokemon from different regions. So for example, this is an American Poplio that I bred myself. And then this is a Japanese Ditto that I got from a Wonder Trade from a guy called AuSLove. He's a streamer on Twitch, and basically he has a kind of currency in a stream, where if you stay there for a certain amount of time, you get coins, and at 500 coins, you can redeem them for this Ditto. And the reason why this Ditto is so good is because it's a Japanese Ditto, so then every time you breed with an English Pokemon, you're going to be getting reduced odds, because the Masuda Method brings down the odds of finding a shiny from 1 in 4,096 to 1 in, I think, 1366, something like that. It drastically reduces the odds that you're going to be getting a shiny, so you can, get these a lot faster than normal. And I believe with the shiny charm, the odds are going down to 1,024. So how exactly? So like that's how I've been getting the shinies quickly. But then, I've been getting really good natures on all my shinies. The IVs have been really good. How have I been doing that? Well, Poplio here is holding an Everstone, and as you can see, Poplio is a modest nature. And the Everstone, what that allows you to do is when a Pokemon's holding the Everstone, any offspring of that Pokemon is going to have the same nature as the parent. So in this example, Poplio is holding an Everstone, and it's a modest nature, so any Poplios that I breed using this Poplio, as long as it's holding the Everstone, will breed a Poplio with a modest nature. And so that's kind of what I've been going for. That's why my Poplios have been all been modest. And then I did the same thing with Litten and Rowlet. They were both adamant. I gave them the Everstone, and then every single offspring were adamant, so naturally my shinies would also be adamant. And then this Ditto is holding a Destiny Knot. Now, what the Destiny Knot does is it lets you transfer 5 IVs from both parents down to one of the offspring, or down to each offspring. So any of the 5 IVs that these two Pokemon have, it's going to select 5 random ones and transfer them down to the offspring. Now the reason why that's so good is because this Ditto is a 6 IV Ditto, and what I mean by that is it has the highest maximum individual value for HP, attack, defense, speed, special defense, and special attack. So it's going to be transferring down the best possible stat that it can if it gets selected by the Destiny Knot. And so by doing that, I kept on breeding. At first I had a Poplio with no perfect IVs. Then I bred it with this Ditto, and instantly I had a Poplio that had 3 really good IVs. So I swapped out the original Poplio that didn't have any good IVs for the 3 IV one. And then as I kept progressing, I got 4 IV, 5 IV, and then eventually this one had a 6 IV. So having a 6 IV Poplio and a 6 IV Ditto means that no matter what, any of the offspring that I have are gonna, or that the Poplio or the Ditto have, are gonna have 5 IVs. So that's really crucial when you're kind of breeding for competitive Pokemon, and then, I'm going to be spending a lot of time hunting these shinies. I want to make sure that the shinies that I do end up getting are potentially useful in battle. So I know my Rowlet is near perfect. The only stat that it doesn't have is special attack, which it's never going to use, so that's actually going to be a really good Decidueye. And then I know that my Incineroar, I think it was missing HP, which honestly isn't the biggest deal. But at the same time, you can use bottle caps to go ahead and do hyper training once your Pokemon are level 100, and it'll actually increase the IVs to 6 anyways. So I guess IVs, for all intents and purposes, aren't too important, but what they do allow you to do is not have to waste gold in bottle caps. So now that I've explained kind of the breeding process, I'm going to go ahead and put these two back in the daycare, and then I'm going to show you just kind of a few tips and tricks that I've learned. So far I've hatched about 1,000 eggs in these games. So I kind of know a thing or two when it comes to kind of like the best spots to hatch eggs, and how to make, how to get eggs faster, how to hatch eggs faster, all that good stuff. So let me go ahead and throw these in the daycare. And then I'm going to show you, there's a little bit of a misconception that I've been kind of seeing going around. I think it might just be personal preference. I don't know if this is technically faster, but what I like to do, there's a little pen here, and so people have been going in this pen and getting on their toros and circling around on the toros because it's in a perfect line of sight of the person who gives you the egg. So you know exactly, see, she just crossed her arms, so I'm going to go ahead and get off the toros and get this egg. Now what I don't like about this method is that every time that I have to go get an egg, I have to get off the toros. And frankly, like, I'm just lazy and I want to get these eggs as fast as I possibly can. I don't want to have to waste any time. So what I do is just stand right outside the pen, circle around in front of the door until she crosses her arms again, like that. And I don't even have to get off the toros, I just go ahead and pick up the egg. And this way, you can stockpile eggs extremely fast. I would say I get about 120 in an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I'm going to go ahead and get one more just to kind of show you guys that it's pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and get an egg. And I'm going to go ahead and put these into the PC now, just to kind of show you guys. Normally I get 5 in a batch before I go ahead and do this, but just because I want to keep this video as short as I can, I'm going to go ahead and just deposit these now. So as you can see, I have this box I'm working on right now, but I have these 2 boxes as well. So these 2 boxes I'm going to be using to hatch clearly, and I'm going to try to fill, let's see, this is the 3rd one, 4, 5, 6. I generally want to get like 6 or 7 boxes pretty much before I start hatching, because I want to make sure that I can just, you know, sit down, grind out like 180 to 210 eggs in one sitting, and then just be done with it, you know, because hatching 210 eggs, you have a pretty high chance, I would say, of getting a shiny, and so sometimes, you know, I don't want to have to do them one egg at a time. I've tried it, and I don't really like it. And so, another thing to go off with the IVs, there's this little feature here called the judge feature. A lot of people have been asking me how I've been getting this, and basically what this allows me to do is check the IVs of any Pokemon that I have. So, for example, this is my Rowlet that I was talking about earlier. As you can see, it has 6 IVs: HP, Attack, Defense, Speed, and Special Defense. Special Attack is the only one it's missing. And what these this checker allows you to see, best is 31 IVs, decent is like I think 15 to 20 or something like that, but fantastic I know is 30, and you can just kind of check the IVs of your Pokemon. So if you see that as you're breeding, you know, you have increased an increased amount of bests, that means that that is the best possible value. That is a 31 IV in that stat. So you can go ahead and swap out, if you had like a 4 IV Poplio, you could swap it out for a 3 IV Poplio. And you just want to try and get as many IVs as possible to make your Pokemon as competitive as possible. So where did I get that judge feature? I actually got it after the Elite Four. It's actually very simple. Once you beat the Elite Four, you have to go ahead and go to Pony Island. You have to fly to this place, the canyon, and you have to go to the right, and you'll reach a place called Pony Plains. And then if you go north, you will reach the Pony Gauntlet and the Battle Tree. So I'm going to go ahead and fly there right now. And Battle Tree, like once you enter there, there is a battle. It's actually a pretty difficult battle, but it's really epic, and I don't want to spoil like who's there and what you're doing, because that was a really cool part of the story. And if you're not there, I don't want to spoil it. But once you reach the Battle Tree, you'll see there's this little PC here. There's going to be a guy standing right here, and if you talk to this guy, and if you've hatched 20 eggs in this game, I repeat, you have to have hatched 20 eggs through the Pokemon Nursery before you talk to this guy. Once you do that, he will come over to this computer, upgrade it, and then you can go ahead and access it, and the judge option will be down here on the touchscreen, right there. And then you can go ahead and check all of the IVs of all of your Pokemon, and so that is how I've been checking IVs. I've been having a lot of questions about that, so I figured that I would answer that now. And then the last little thing I want to show you is go on the second island, and Akala Island, and go to Heya City. This is the main like harbor city of this island. And basically what this allows you to do is, this is the city with the longest straight line in the game, from my understanding. So I go ahead and I'll just kind of show you. If I get on my Tauros, and I'm assuming like I would have all of my eggs in my party, I would go ahead and just kind of run around. I can do this little circle loop sometimes when I'm getting a little bored, but you don't have to. You can actually go down and go straight over here. You don't have to worry about running into anything, and then you just do a quick little turnaround, and you go all the way through. Keep going straight. Keep going straight. And eventually you end up hatching the eggs. Like, this is the most continuous line where you don't have to break from Tauros. And so this is just the easiest way to hatch eggs. This is the most efficient, the quickest way to hatch eggs in this game. At least in my opinion. This is just my way I've been doing it. And then the way that I hatch eggs so fast is I have a Talon Flame with the Flame Body ability, as you can see. And the Flame Body ability, normally in-game, if you get hit by it, or if you hit something with Flame Body, you have like a 50% chance of getting burned or something. But outside of battle, if you have a Pokemon with Flame Body and you put it in the lead of your party, any eggs that are in your party will actually hatch twice as fast. So it reduces the amount of steps that you have to take to hatch an egg by half. So it's a really useful way to hatch eggs very quickly, and especially if you stockpile a lot of eggs, you can just go ahead and just breeze through them. That's what I've been doing. As you've been seeing in my Litten video, that's what I do. And then Rowlet, I was actually just gathering eggs, and I just happened to hatch a shiny one, so that's pretty cool. The last thing I want to show you guys is I have an item in the bag called, where is it? Called the Oval Charm. And what the Oval Charm does is it increases the chance of Pokemon eggs being found at the nursery. So it actually decreases the amount of time that it takes for 2 Pokemon in the daycare to breed and get an egg. So the way that you get this is you actually go into this building right here. This is the Game Freak house. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Yep, this is the Game Freak house. So go ahead and go in these doors, and then you're going to go up these stairs. And then to the right, over here, by this little Team Skull thug hanging out, this is the Game Freak room. So once you go in the Game Freak room, you're going to go ahead and talk to this guy right here. And he's going to ask you to battle him. And if you win the battle, you will get the Oval Charm. Now, I would be prepared. He has about Pokemon in his mid-60s, I think. It's either mid-50s or mid-60s. I know it was a pretty big struggle for me. Right when I beat the Elite Four, I couldn't actually beat him. I had to train a little bit more. So I went ahead and did the battle tree stuff first and kind of like went through that route. And then once I finished that route, I came over here, battled him, and got the Oval Charm. So that is pretty much it for this guide. This is just kind of how I've been hatching eggs so quickly in Pokemon Sun and Moon, and how I've been getting my shinies actually pretty quick. I know Litten and Rowlet, you know, they only took 13 and 56 eggs, but my Poplio Masuda hunt actually took 522, and I was actually able to do that all in one day using this method. So I hope this video helped you guys out. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do, and like the video if this helped you at all, and I will see you guys in the next video.